Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of NHL Hockey News Sports, and today we are talking about the Pacific Division predictions that we have for the 2021-2022 season. What do we have coming up? My prediction of this division, of the Pacific Division, including the teams of Golden Knights. You got the Kings, the Canucks, Flames, Oilers, Ducks, the Kraken, new league in there, right? And then you have the Ducks. And then you have the Sharks, right? No more Coyotes. Coyotes in the Central Division now, right? So you do not have the Coyotes anymore. They go to Central, but you acquire the Seattle Kraken, number 32, right? In the NHL first year inaugural season. So let's get into it. My thoughts on this division, and yeah, let's get into it. We'll start from number 8 to number 1. And starting off at number 8 for this 2021 to 2022 season will be the San Jose Sharks. Now, San Jose, this is where they need to be. They got Roy Macklin last draft. Okay, great. The Swedish, really solid center. He could make the NHL this year. There's a possibility. But if he doesn't, it's probably good to go back to the SHL, give him more time. That's a solid prospect. Or they have Ozzy Riesblatt. Right? That's the other guy last year that got really nothing there. Ryan Merkley, a prospect there. That's the best you can say right now. They have a lot of older players, so this team needs to change onto a younger team, get more younger players, draft more, right? You have Carlson, Burns, and, Couture and Kane, and you got all these guys. You got rid of Martin Jones last year. You bought him out this last season, so we'll see how things go. You have a new tandem, Aiden Hill and James Reimer, who you bring him back after 2016 finals, being the backup to Jones, and we'll see how things go, but I hope they do become 8th because they need younger players, they need a new core, and it's not working what they have anymore because it's too old. They need a new team, for sure. A new core. Moving on to number 7. And that's the Anaheim Ducks. Now, Anaheim, the last couple years, I would say actually now 3 years, they've been rebuilding, taking their time. They got Mason McTavish last year. Really good. Getting a guy like him. The last 2 years, or 3, I should say. Well, actually, 2, right? Or 3, whatever. Jamie Drysdale. Trevor Zegras, you got those guys too. Jacob Perreault, the pipeline, also in the prospect pool. You have Lucas Dorsal as a goalie for the future. You have guys here, Tracy, and so many other guys as prospects coming up. But this team is definitely starting to shape into something. The thing is, they don't have enough offense on the wing. They're not going to be a team that's going to make the playoffs. No expectations for that whatsoever. There isn't. Absolutely nothing. But, they need more offense on the wing. It would be nice. See what they can do for the draft next year also. But they are a team starting to show some talent. Getting these guys, stockpiling these prospects, What do you do about John Gibson? Do you keep him? Right now he's in his prime and he's with a team that's a rebuilding team. What do you want to do with that? Do you want to keep him? Do you want to trade him to a team that wants to win? I know people say the Oilers and all that stuff, but we'll see what happens. You have Getzlaf for another year. They signed him again. So you have some veteranship, but this team still needs to grow, and it still needs to go somewhere for sure. To take its time, get another solid top 10 draft pick, and work from there. Moving on to number 6. The Calgary Flames. I feel like Calgary will try to push for a playoff spot. Absolutely. I think they're going to try to do that like last year. Last year, they started off solid. For like the first 10 games or even less than that. Things were up and down. Things firing the coach, Jeff Ward. Changing that. Changing some things up here. Not good enough. Right, Dale Sutter, you bring as a head coach. You have Johnny Gaudreau as a UFA. Sean Monahan, I don't know about him. Lindholm's really solid. You lose Giordano. Can this team really do well? You have the goaltending in Markstrom. I don't know if they can really. We'll see. I think they're going to be in the middle of the pack, but it's really wide open here. The Flames could make it, but I don't know about them. I'm kind of like, can they do it? I don't know if Dale Suttle's the right coach. I know they brought him in for the last of the season, and they still have him. I don't know if he's the right guy for this. I don't know. I'm kind of questioning. I have a lot of questions about the Flames, the offense, how things would go, not overplaying Markstrom totally too much. I know he can play a lot of games, but they don't really have a solid backup goalie either. I don't know. I don't know about the Flames. I'm kind of like, can they really score? Is that really going to be there? That's another question for sure. We went on to the number 5. The LA Kings. Now, LA really said, okay, rebuild over, right? They got enough prospects, really good down the middle, absolutely solid down the middle. They have enough guys. They added someone on defense, Brand Clark. They just drafted last year. He won't come this coming year, but you'll have that. You have insane center depth. Turcotte and Kopitar and Philippe Deneau you just signed, and you have, guys like that, Velarde and Byfield, and I know Byfield's out for a little bit, but really, your center depth is amazing. Kellyev on the wing. You have guys here. You have Bjornfot on defense, and the future of Clark, and you have some guys here for sure. On this team, I definitely think they could make it. There is a possibility. I think there'd be just enough out, but it's going to be interesting how LA does. They're trying to get themselves improved back into a playoff spot, and we'll see how things go, for sure. Moving on to number 4. The Seattle Kraken. Now, Seattle, I really like their team. They remind me of the New York Islanders. Not the offense forwards part, the defense part. Solid. They play that trap game, modern trap game these days. You have the solid goaltending duo. Grubauer, Chris Driedger, that's your guy. Those are your two guys. Perfect. Really solid signings. Absolutely. Then for defense, you have a good mix between puck-moving guys, shutdown guys. You have Jamie Alexiak, big, solid shutdown guy. You have Vince Dunn, puck-moving guy. He'll probably get you 40 points of the season. Adam Lawson, a shutdown guy, right shot. You also have Jimmy Lazan, solid defensively. Will Borgen. You have Hayden Fleury out there, too. You have Dennis Cholowski, a puck-moving guy. Mark Giordano, another guy, veteran presence right there. Knows all these situations. You have so many good guys on that defense. I really think a lot of the games that the Kraken going to have is going to be tight games. Maybe a lot of 2-1s, 3-2s. Games like that. You win or you lose for the Kraken. I think a lot is going to be like that. The offense, they'll get there. Matt Beniers, who drafts 2nd overall. He's like a Bo Horvat. Solid leader. Why not? He's in Michigan next year. But you have Yanni Gourde as projected number 1 center. You have Schwartz on the wing. You have Embley. You have guys here that can score. But, we'll see how the goal scoring does. I'm going to be really interested in how that goes. I have a little question mark with that. Can they score enough to be productive here? Defense, I have no question. Very solid. The goaltending, very solid. They remind me of, like I said, the Islanders, just not the forwards. Not as good as the forwards, but really just solid defensively. Can play that for sure. That shutdown hockey. Moving on to number 3. Is the Edmonton Oilers. Now, Edmonton, you have McDavid and Draisaitl. You add Zach Hyman. Absolutely nice to have him on the first line. Having him to play with McDavid is just perfect on the power play, too, for the tip-ins. And McDavid can play with him and pass to him, and he can pass to McDavid. And you can have Draisaitl on the power play, too, with McDavid. And, of course, McDavid, Draisaitl, like Hyman, something like that, and you have Yamamoto you can put out there maybe too, really get him start to score more, you know what I mean? So you really have some great guys for this team. A couple question marks. Duncan Keith's $5 million contract. They didn't retain any. The Hawks didn't retain any. That's for another 2 years, this year and then another next year after it. That's something I'm a little question mark about. The goaltending too. Mike Smith signs for another 2 years. He's 38. It's going to get him to 40. So, he was good last year. Very solid. But Mikko Koskinen, for me, he's 50-50. I don't know what to ask from him. He's going to be up and down. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. The goaltending, I think, could use some help for sure. But, we'll see how the Oilers do. I think they're going to make number 3. So, that comes to number 2. Interesting, number 2 here. I believe the Canucks can be number 2. The top 9 is insane now for the forwards. Now you have Podkolzin start to play now. You have Hoglander who played last year, very talented guy. You have a team that is going to bounce back from an awful season, just from everything, right? Between COVID and just losing streak and just everything, just a mass. Just all these games at once in the beginning of the season, tiring you out, between that and isolation, all that stuff, really killing the Canucks here. So the Canucks have another fresh page here. I'm sure they're going to do better than they did last year. Totally. They totally need to. You add Garland, also on defense, you add Ekman-Larsson, you get rid of Louis Eriksson, Roussel, Beagle, guys like that, you ship off, get rid of, but you add Ekman-Larsson's $8 million contract, where he hasn't been the best the last couple of years, after Jacob Kitchen just kind of taking a spot there in Arizona. So, that's for another 5 years for Ekman-Larsson's deal. Or was it 6? I don't know, something like that. But Ekman-Larsson, we'll see how that turns out for them. And then, we'll see. But Garland, adding offense there, you have Brock Besser, and you have guys like that, and you have Elias Pettersson for a bounce back year from him. It's just going to be great. You have Quinn Hughes on defense. It's just the defense, I think they can add more. Tyler Miles, he's big, but what does he do? Not much. You have Quinn Hughes, fantastic puck-moving guy, absolutely. He'll get a lot of points. Rathbone's been really impressive so far. He can make it, absolutely. I don't see how he doesn't. But we'll see how things go for the Canucks. And you have goalie and Demko and Halak, so pretty solid there for sure. Going on to number 1. And that's the Vegas Golden Knights. I think they'll be number 1 again. They have solid goaltending. Now they have Leno and Bourgeois. No more Leno and Fleury. That's gone. So Leno and Bourgeois. Bourgeois' okay. He's okay. Not bad as a backup guy. So Leno better be the guy for them after Fleury goes to the Hawks. And then you have defense, solid, right? The offense, we'll see. I really want to see how Nolan Patrick does this year. Does he really bounce back and really start to take that number 1? Or not number 1, just that, top 6 role down the middle. We'll see how that goes. They could definitely use him to step up, really step up, absolutely. So we'll see how that turns out. You have that. You have Dadonov too on the wing. That's okay. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that one for next 2 years. So we'll see how that turns out for them. But yeah, definitely down the middle. Stungam, Nick Waugh. I love what Nick Waugh brings. Definitely top 9. Center, number 3. Definitely really did amazing in the Canadian Series in the Western Conference Finals. So we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching. It's NHL News Sports. By the way, we have number 1, the Golden Knights. Number 2, the Canucks. 3, Oilers. 4, Kraken. 5, Kings. 6, Flames. 7, Ducks. 8th is the Sharks. And you know what? Between number 2 and number 6, that could all be changed up like anything. The Flames could make it. The Kings could make it. The Canucks might be a team at number 6 then, or number 5, or something, We'll see what happens. Who gets on a hot streak? Who gets in the playoffs? Who has a bad year? What happens? We'll see what happens, right? So thanks for watching. NHL News Sports. I will see you in the next video. Bye.